February is Black History Month, encouraging Iowans to focus on race relations and inequalities in the United States. WalletHub, a personal finance network, says one of the states where those disparities are most prevalent is Iowa. Fox 28 News reporter Kevin Berry is here with why.
Yeah, Scott, historically, stats like net worth have always been higher for white families than they were for black families. For a few years, the gap was closing, but now it's the highest it's been in more than 2 decades. For a state that has cities with fast internet, high quality of life, and enough corn to feed most of the country, Iowa has some of the nation's largest gaps between whites and blacks in median household income, homeownership rates, and poverty.
Well, it's not surprising.
The Pew Research Center points to the recession a few years ago. While the entire nation took a hit, Pew says minorities lost more money, used more of their savings, and are taking longer to bounce back. Diedrich Doolin says it's the same here.
If Iowa gets a cold, or African American or people of color get pneumonia.
But he also points to society's unconscious behavior that keeps minorities from advancing.
Implicit bias is not necessarily saying you intend to discriminate.
Instead, he says some are conditioned to consider people in a certain context, which for minorities can be a negative one. LaSheila Yates at the city's Civil Rights Commission says they're already starting to build relationships within communities to combat inequality. She says it starts with the most basic observations.
Looking at individuals as human, understanding that we have commonalities and we all are invested in the health of our community, and however you define that.
In a few weeks, she's going on a police ride-along, viewing the city from a perspective she's never seen before. Dolan says he's already starting to get more formal complaints about racial mistreatment in the workplace or from people looking to buy or rent a home in Cedar Rapids. He says events like Ferguson could be a spark for people to start standing up when they see inequality, which he says will eventually lead to meaningful change.